This is not what divas do. Boy, a lot of the talented women had to really fight through a lot of shit to get where they are right now, didn't they? I'm John Retlin with my review, WWE Untold, Bayley and Sasha take over Brooklyn. A look behind the scenes to see where Bayley and Sasha started. It's a brief recap of their early run and their early start in NXT before going behind the scenes to see what happened at TakeOver Brooklyn 1. Bayley versus Sasha at that event is going to be one of the matches I will talk about for years to come. Because it wasn't just a great women's match, it was a great wrestling match. You could put that up in any promotion, in my personal opinion, and it would still hold up. Now, that's not to say that there weren't great matches in Japan, there weren't great matches in Impact, or great matches all over. I'm just saying, as far as a match, as far as storytelling, as far as work rate, as far as having the crowd on their feet, this could have fit in anywhere. And honestly, this was just a great fucking match. And it was great to hear from both these women and hear from various others. It's a nice 38-minute piece. I do like these WWE Untold pieces, even though I do admit some of them are more revisionist history. I'm not saying this one is, but there are some that are, because WWE is known for doing that, because Vince McMahon sometimes can't admit when companies bested him and are even besting him right now. But I'll talk about that in another video. So, we'll talk about their love of wrestling from an early age. Talked about being, women wrestling fans and feeling uncomfortable about it. Unfortunately, seeing some of the interactions that I see various women wrestling fans get, not just on social media, but even at indie shows, I kind of get it. I kind of do. I kind of really fucking do. Talked to some really cool ones, by the way. It doesn't matter what your gender is. You can be a great wrestling fan, and you can love WWE. AEW, New Japan, All Japan, Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA, doesn't matter. You can love any wrestling as long as it's, something that everybody else likes, because that's how this shit works. And that's kind of the mindset that the agents put in the heads of these women, because after a little bit, after Bayley talks about loving Randy Savage, finding inspiration from him, Sasha obviously finding inspiration from Eddie Guerrero, you could fucking tell. I mean, you could tell with her moves, the way she does frog splash, the mannerisms and everything. They compare their friendship to that of Eddie and Ray, and I can agree with that to an extent, at least on camera. And they really do seem to get along well. They really just seem like they're inseparable, and honestly, it's great. It's actually great to see true friends get along in wrestling. That is really what it's all about, because it's a tough business, regardless of what company you're part of. Territory days or, Monday Night War days or anything, if you have true friends, that's a good thing. And Sarah Amato talks about, I hope I pronounced that right, talk about seeing the potential in both. And then the line, oh no, you can't do the strike, you can't do everything. This is not what divas do. So they'd have to almost do the strikes and do the other moves in secret, because this is when they still wouldn't get out of the divas phase. Now let me make it clear. I know some people are shitting on the divas era, and I personally do as well. Mainly because a lot of the women that were pushed, at least featured a whole lot, honestly weren't always the best workers, but there were some really good women wrestlers that weren't allowed to get their just due during that whole era. There were some that shouldn't have been champion, and I talked about that in other videos. But watching what Sasha and Bayley had to go through, or Mercedes and, Pam, Davina Rose, whatever, all the names that they throw out, watching what they had to go through and watching what the other women had to go through, it really is kind of sad that it got to this point, and that these women feel that they couldn't be treated as equals. Bayley is Davina Rose. We get to, calling their first match on the fly. We get to hear about that. Early promos were rough, understandable, because they had very high emotions. And they were worried about being released. Dusty Rhodes helped them with their characters, helped Bayley with her character. Hence the inspiration of her wearing polka dots shortly after his death at TakeOver Brooklyn 1. And then the Sasha crew, which was... the soon-to-be Eli Drake, Jason Jordan with a huge fro, Mojo Rawley, and Baron Corbin, when Baron Corbin had the short hair and everything, before he actually got in pretty good shape and everything, because he had just come off of football. And Owens talks about the fans connecting with Bayley, connecting with them both. And they did be 4 months apart, Sasha in December 2012, Bayley just a little bit after. And then we see behind-the-scenes stuff of the setup for TakeOver Brooklyn. Sasha had to be part of the TakeOver panel, the kickoff panel, and they couldn't rehearse their spots. They couldn't rehearse a whole lot of spots because they didn't want to get that nixed. There were people that were going to get these big spots nixed because they didn't want the women to shine on this huge stage. Could you imagine if any of this stuff had gotten nixed? like the dives and, the great submission work that they did. Could you imagine if any of that shit got nixed? In not just this match, but any match. Take the women out of it and put men into it, and would you get that same thing? No, you really wouldn't. It was kind of a toxic thing, and it was kind of ridiculous. But they were floored by the response. The emotions were high. Sasha was screaming in the car. Bayley saw her family. She was about to cry. The subtleties of Sasha being a full-on bitch were really, really good. The crowd was molten hot. Absolutely molten hot. If you have not seen this match in its entirety, you are doing yourself a disservice. Please fucking watch it. And the reverse Rana spot, they were even talking about it. Sasha's just like, just do it. I'll be okay. Sasha practically landing on her damn head. I mean, that's not either person's fault. It's just things that happen. And then the ending pop when Bayley got the Bayley to belly, the second one, 1, 2, 3, and she was crying. Sasha was crying right on the goddamn ground. If that match didn't make you feel something, I really have to question what you feel in matches. And I'm not saying that people have to say it's the greatest match ever. I think it's one of the greatest matches, at least of the last decade, and I would put it on my top 50 favorite match, or at least most emotional matches that I've seen. I'd put top 20 most emotional matches that I've personally seen, because it was great shit. And then standing ovation in the back, and their families there, they celebrate, and it's really, really good. Now, is it a fluff piece? Sure. But it is nice to hear from Bayley and Sasha and what they had to deal with and what they fought through, and the fact that they put on a goddamn incredible match. Not just a great women's match, but a great wrestling match. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.